Yo, what's up, sugaring community? This is SDC, also known as Fast Freddy. Thanks for clicking on my video. Definitely hit the like and subscribe to get notifications on my latest uploads. So today I'm going to talk about how not to get scammed or worked by a sugar baby. Now the bottom line is there are no legal contracts here. No one is forcing anyone here to do anything. So if you've got scammed or you get scammed, honestly, it's on you. And most likely no one has done anything that you didn't let them do. So what to look out for and what state of mind do you have to be in to avoid something like that? So first thing is, like, what kind of girls are on the site, and I'm gonna do a video on that. But generally, there's a handful of different types of girls on there. Now there's some girls that are on there to find a high value male. They've had shit relationships. They've had men treat them like shit. So they're thinking, oh, maybe the site has, rich guys who have their shit together. Generally, those girls are not the girls that you have to worry about. Other girls on the site, just like you, are on it because they're in difficult situations and they need money. And there's different types of girls that fit in those categories. So some of those girls are, for example, college girls. So they're young. They're obviously paying a lot for tuition, or they don't have a degree, so they can't make money. So they thought, you know what, I'm gonna be out here having sex anyway. I've dated a bunch of kids, I've dated a bunch of boys, dated a bunch of assholes. Why don't I get something for what I'm doing? Why don't I get something for having sex instead of having shitty ass sex with a bunch of boys? Other girls are gonna be dancers or sex workers, and those girls, a lot of them have been hurt by men. I know there's probably going to be some dancers that hear this and are like, no, I was never hurt or whatever. Most of the dancers that I've talked to and sex workers have been hurt, and generally where their mind is at is, you know what, guys have used my sexuality to exploit me, so I'm going to basically empty their clip, and I'm going to be sexual and use my sexuality to basically exploit them and get money out of them. So you're dealing with those girls, and then you're just dealing with generally girls or women that are in very difficult positions. So for example, a lot of the girls or women on here are mothers who they have a deadbeat baby daddy, or a baby daddy who cheated on them, that can't afford to take care of them. They're on it on their own, which fucking sucks and is fucked up. But yeah, they also have been hurt, so they're looking for financial help. These are the girls that you kind of have to watch out for. And I have nothing against women. I feel like, you know what, we should treat them right. We should take care of women. This is what we're on here for. But you still got to watch out for those girls, because aside from the fact that they're trying to also exploit men, they're just in desperate need. So they're always going to be asking for money and kind of pushing you to your limit. So what kind of frame of mind do you have to be, first of all, to allow them to do that? And then what kind of frame of mind do you have to be to stop them from doing that? And then also, what are some scams that you might run into? So the first thing is, the bottom line, like I said in the beginning of the video, is if they've scammed you, it's because you let them. And honestly, that's just because you are, and I know a lot of alpha, anyone who's alpha that's listening to this is gonna be like, this bullshit, because this is a whole fucking beta community. But the fact of the matter is, you are in a mindset of scarcity, which typically, the reason we come to these sites is because we are in a mindset of scarcity, and that means it's hard for us to get women now. So when a beautiful girl on here, girl of your dreams, is giving you the fantasy that you're going to be with her, or she's now had sex with her, we, number one, as betas, or whatever you want to call it, fall in love really quickly. We fall in love with the fantasy. And the main thing is, you feel like you are not going to get another girl like her, or maybe not even another girl from the site, and basically you're desperate, and they will leverage that. So they will ask you for money more than what you agree to. They may try different scams, different tactics to get money from you, and because you're afraid of losing them, you are going to give it to them. And I've been in that situation a bunch of times. I had to pay my dues and learn. And the reason a lot of the times I'd let these girls take advantage of me in the past is because I was either afraid I was not going to find a girl like them. I was afraid I was not going to find another girl on the site. I was in love with them maybe, and I didn't want to lose them, and that's the bottom line. So I let them, every time they asked for it, I would give it to them, and I did it over and over again, and started realizing that there's so many fish in the sea, to the point where I'm like, wait a minute, every time I lose a girl, I get a girl, and she ends up being even better sometimes. But that's the trap that we all fall into, and that's the only way not to get trapped by a girl trying to scam you, is to realize, you know what, if she tries to pull some shit on me, I'm gonna refuse, and if she leaves, it's all good. I'm gonna go find another girl. So what are some scams? The first thing is, the easiest thing is, when you haven't even met a girl, she's gonna try to scam you. Some of these girls try to scam you, so they may say, hey, pay for pics, which I just don't get it. Basically asking you to give them money before you meet them. Never give them money before you meet them. So they may ask for you to pay for pics, which you all should know. If you wanted to do that, you can go watch some porn. So I never obviously agree. They may ask for gas money. One time a girl was like, yeah, I'll drive from LA to where you're at, which was like 5-8 hours or something, and I just couldn't understand it. So I wanted to see where it was gonna go, and she's like, yeah. I said, what if we don't mesh? You're gonna drive all the way up here, and she said, yeah. And I wanted to see where it would go, because I thought she was full of shit, and she asked me for gas money. So obviously I was gonna send her gas money and never hear from her again. So that's another scam. A girl one time told me, you know what, I'm gonna lose my phone, and I really like you, and I want to see you. So send me some money. My phone's about to get turned off, and if you don't, then you're not gonna be able to reach me and talk to me. That was bullshit. And she reached out a couple days later, and that means her phone was fine. So don't fall for shit like that. A big one that I think I hear happens all the time is you're involved with a girl for whatever reason. Maybe she's done with you or whatever, and on the last meeting she will ask you to wire her or send her money. So for example, she might say, I got car problems, I have a tire issue, I got a loan I need to pay, or something like that. And I used to say, you know what, I'm going to give you an advance. How about I give you an advance next time we meet? I don't have to pay for that meet. A lot of them obviously will agree and then disappear. So the bottom line is, you got to be really careful when giving money in advance, or even just wiring money, because girls, they know how to work that. So another issue that I've run into is kitten fishing. So almost like catfishing. So for example, they'll put a profile pic from 10 years ago. One time I saw a woman that was a little older. She was really beautiful, and I didn't mind that she was older, but she put a picture of her when she was probably, in her 30s. Her profile listed her as being 40. When I met her, she was more like in her 50s. She was still beautiful. We still had a great time, but I realized that I got kitten fished. Another one. So the craziest story I had was, this was probably one of the first sugar babies I ever had. I called her on the phone. We connected really well. She had beautiful pictures. She even had like Facebook profiles that supported her pictures, and had a bunch of pictures of her. So I thought it was legit. She lived about an hour away. We developed a connection over the phone. She said she basically had a sob story. She had a son. She had to take care of her brother. She had been scammed a bunch of times. I really connected with her. And then for whatever reason, she refused to see me. She was really busy and all that shit. So one day she said she didn't have money for groceries and she couldn't feed her son. And I felt really bad for her. On top of that, I felt we had a connection. I really wanted to meet her, so I just gave her a couple $100. At that point, for weeks, she refused to see me, which was really odd. And I had now already invested money, and so I didn't want to lose that money. So even though I was chasing my tail and it was a bunch of bullshit, I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Finally, after maybe 5 weeks of me getting frustrated, and I told her, you know what, if I don't see you, we're ending this. She agreed to see me, so I drove an hour to go see her. And she showed up to the hotel room and she had gained 50 pounds. And I felt really bad because, and that's probably why she was avoiding seeing me. But she was a nice girl, genuine girl, but she was deceiving me. She lied. And it was because she had been abused in her previous relationship. She didn't, so she felt really bad. She needed help, but she did lie to me. And, so it didn't end up working out, just because. And I have nothing against curvy girls. I love girls of all sizes, all colors, but it's just she looked nothing like her pictures. She was not confident, so it was a mess. And I ended up having to basically break it off, and it really hurt her and it really hurt me. So be really careful about that kitten fishing. So like I said, you should be in my other videos, you should be meeting these girls before any type of payment to verify who they are and verify that you guys even have chemistry. So again, don't be paying before you meet them. Another thing is paying ahead of time. Now a lot of guys scam girls, so they ask for payment up front when they're meeting, let's say. That's tricky. I personally don't do that anymore. And again, if they want to leave, then they leave. But I don't pay because up front, because sometimes they'll bullshit you once they get the money. So they say they'll do this and this. They say that, they want to have fun. You give them the money, and then all of a sudden they have leverage again, and now you've lost that money unless you kind of do what they say. So I don't typically pay ahead of the meet or even up front. I wait until we have a good time, whatever that is. Maybe it's sex, maybe it's not sex. And then after the meet, when I feel like we've had a great time, then I pay for the meet. I pay for her time. And I fucking pay. Guys, fucking pay what you say. Trust is the key to all this. So don't bullshit. You're a sugar baby. If you want her coming back, you want her to like you. If you say you're gonna do something, fucking do it. So I usually, and that's the thing, like I'll pay them even when they leave and they forget to ask me. I will pay them to make sure that they know I'm fucking serious about this. I am who I say I am. They'll get what we agreed to, and these girls love that, and they come back after that. And then the last thing is falling in love. So, and I'll get into that. If you fall in love with a girl, she fucking has you hooked. So honestly, just remember, these girls are here for a reason. They're not here to catch feelings. Even though, and I'll have the story on another video, I did fall in love. I believe she fell in love with me, but it was a mess. I lost thousands of dollars just investing in her. We fought. She ghosted. She came back. We broke up. Came back together. It was just a mess. I do not recommend falling in love. That's just gonna be a money trap. In any case, thanks for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon. Thanks.